recording because I got good enough memory and battery.
Oh, you up there already?
Yep.
Who's the first person?
The clerk.
Oh. Okay. I'll see you when you're up there.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, guys, I'm going to a council meeting. I know you can, hopefully you guys can hear me, probably some wind or something, but I am recording the people coming in. So basically, last meeting, I've been getting singled out, so I'm going to readdress the issues that were not addressed last time because I kept getting interrupted. So last meeting, I didn't have a way to record because my batteries weren't charged up. So hopefully this meeting I'm recording the whole thing, and hopefully this holds up. At the last meeting, I'm a concealed carry holder. I carry everywhere I go. They would not by law they're supposed to have armed security. So they called 2 sheriffs and had me searched. So we will see what they will do. If they're gonna honor my rights or call the sheriff or actually be held accountable and quit singling people out. Really, my original issue was to not be singled out, but to be treated fairly, and to be, since I'm considered an outsider or an outcast, because I was not raised up here, is really nothing short of being racist. So I am going to record people coming up, and I'm going to make this video public. We can't have people that take an oath to office that does not honor their oath as well. So this meeting, I'm going to re-say everything that I did at the last meeting because everybody heard me, but I kept getting interrupted and nothing was accomplished. So I am going to keep coming to meetings until there's accountability. I think it's wrong to be treating people the way they do. I've already talked to the sheriff, so supposedly they're not going to show up. Legally, yes, I am allowed to carry, and if they want to ban it, then they have to have adequate security, which they're not going to pay for. So we will see what happens. I'm hoping that they'll be a lot more professional because they're being recorded, and I'll make it available for everybody to view. There's still some time yet. Give me a second. Let me see what time it is. So the meeting doesn't start until like 7. It's only 6:19. I think people start pulling in here close to maybe another 10 minutes. But I wanted to kind of talk to you guys and let you guys know what's going on. At the last meeting, I was the only one that got searched. Nobody else did. I'm going to have that addressed. do work for us. We don't work for them. So they need to be transparent. They need to be fair, and they need to quit singling people out. And they need to be accountable for their actions. And so that's what I am going there to see if that's what they're going to do. I might do another video later on showing you all these different buildings that are down, or not down, but basically abandoned and or just not taken care of. If I can find pictures of my building, which I do have a few, some pictures showing you what I've done over the 8 years that I've been here, which this is not what's going on now, but I've been working on my stuff, but it seems like I would be the one to get a letter in the mail, a complaint from somebody, because I'm an outsider. I'm an outcast. And it's really just nothing short of being racist. So I am going to go in, and when the time comes, I'll go in. Hopefully I have enough memory. I know I got enough battery. So I'm hoping that this will stay recording the whole time. I'm just going to make this all one video if possible. If not, I'll just have to do separate videos. But I'm recording everybody coming up. So if they do call the sheriff, then, which would be kind of nice if they showed up, because if they did, then hopefully it's the same ones that were here the last meeting. I would like to ask them questions on why I was singled out, why I got searched and nobody else did. But you'll see more details in the meeting, because I got some paperwork, some laws. I gave each one of them have a copy of it. Hopefully they will not ignore it. I do plan on suing the city over that, because when you take an oath, you got to honor it, and you can't just blatantly do things or take an oath and not understand what it is that you oath yourself into, or just blatantly ignore the oath and violate it anyways. So there's a lawsuit there. I just got to find the right lawyer. So anyways, I might be silent. We'll just see what happens, see who shows up and who don't. At the last meeting, Sue Kupka, which is the one that should have showed up, she didn't show up. The regular mayor, Gordon Fawcett, he didn't show up. I don't know if he's going to be there. So we'll see what happens. But I think they didn't come there because they knew that because I don't have any real reason why I need to go to a meeting normally. Normally it's when I get singled out and picked on and singled out. They do like to show favoritism to their friends and pick on the outsiders that never was grown up around here, because they want the town to themselves, and they, it's just, that's not the way to get a town to thrive. So I'm talking because I used to help the city out at first, and then until I got treated like trash. So you can't blame me for not wanting to help anything out. I'm not saying I won't in the future, but as of right now, even if I did, I wouldn't be appreciated. I mean, I would be for the time being, but I wouldn't be appreciated. And people need to be more appreciative of people and more helpful, instead of cutting people down. So, and I know it's, I don't know why, or don't understand why there isn't a law against singling people out, but and I don't really want to sue anybody, but I'm going to have to, because this is something that can't keep going on. We need to get people, they either need to be accountable for their actions, or we need to get new people in. So I am asking for Sue Kupka's resignation, whether she will do the right thing or not, but we'll see. So I'm recording, and I did let them know, and I told the sheriffs that I'm recording, and so I'm just, it'd be nice if they'd do the right thing. And I'm not talking about just for me, I'm talking about for everybody as well, equally. I mean, to me, I feel like I'm being discriminated against. It's nothing short of being a racist. Been singled out. You know, I pretty much stay to myself. I don't bother anybody. And I've been fixing up my building and actually fixing things and not just letting it go to crap and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do another video of that, but I live in the big town of Clutier. Well, it's not really that big, but it's big as far as like, it's a small town, so it's like big in drama, big in rumors. A lot of small towns are like that, but I've never seen a town like this where you can move into a town, wave at somebody and say hi, and they shunt their nose up at you, and you've done nothing wrong to them. I can go to a small town, any of them, and I've always at least got a hi back, or I might get a quick short, hey, the weather's nice, and then they'd respond, yeah, I think it's nice too, and then that's, I'd at least get some basic respect. I've been here for 8 years, and I have been not really against the town, but I'm not a doormat either. I mean, you can't let people walk all over you. So I'm doing a video, and hopefully this video will make them realize that they need to wake up. They need to quit doing this stuff to people. I'd like to see this town thrive, but it can't thrive like this. I mean, there'd be more people willing to volunteer for their city and town events if they would be treated right, not picked on. So, and I've been picked on, and you can't be poking at an animal and not expect a reaction. So I've been poked at too much, so this is what I gotta do. Of course, I'm not doing it in a violent manner. I'm gonna do it the legal way. So we'll see what that does and see if there's going to be any differences. I'm not here for a popularity contest, so whether I'm liked or, it's nice to be liked, but whether I'm liked or not, it doesn't matter. All I know is I do my own thing and I don't bother nobody. So when I get bothered, then I have to deal with it, and so this will be the result. So hopefully I'm not boring. I'm not dragging you into my drama, because if you have not lived here and you decided to move here, you would be treated the same way as I have been. Unless you kiss their butt, then they'll like you until you do the wrong thing. So, and I'm not a butt kisser, so is what I'm saying. Is I don't hurt nobody, I don't harm nobody, and I kind of expect to be left alone. People want to be decent, I'm all good for that, but people have not been decent to me, so I gotta hold them accountable, and peacefully, yes, of course. So let's see what time it is. So the meeting is at 7 o'clock. It is now 6:28. So we got another half hour. So I don't know if I'll probably run out of things to say. I'm just taking a video of the people that's showing up, seeing who all shows up. So the city clerk showed up. That's her car right there. I'm kind of surprised nobody else is here. I'll pan around. That's the whole building. That's the parking lot. I'm sitting right across the street. And it's also the fire station. Now, if I can keep this going, I I believe I got enough memory to keep it going for now until the rest of the meeting, so I'm going to do that. I don't know if I'll have to chop the video up into part 1, part 2, part 3, but I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and I'm going to upload this to Facebook. And if I need to, I might even share it with the media. Depends on what happens. Now, I would like them to be accountable and actually get something done and address my concerns and not just blow it off as a laughing stock. So I'm sitting here waiting, seeing who's all going to show up. I'm going to show you something. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. The Second Amendment, if it'll focus for me. A well-regulated militia being necessarily to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. What don't they understand about that? That is what they oath themselves into. And, let's see, I get that. The First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, which I am recording, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. First and the Second Amendment. So they violated my Second Amendment last time. Hopefully this time they'll be smart enough not to. So Third Amendment don't apply in this, even though I guess we technically are in the Third World War, which hasn't reached America yet. So here's a good one. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and persons or things to be seized. So one of the council members gave me this book right here. I think I'm going to give that back because I think they need it more than I do. This is what they took an oath to. This is what they need to honor. This is what I'm going in to hold them accountable for in the singling out. And guys, we got to do this, or they're just going to keep thinking that they can just get away with things. So if they don't hear it, then they're violating my freedom of speech. And I'm not saying mine, I'm talking about everybody's. Everybody has that right, including them. So this is what I'm going for. So I got another paper. It's an actual state law. I personally think it technically violates the Second Amendment, period. But either way, in a handbasket, they're pretty much really kind of forced to acknowledge that we have the rights to bear arms and it shall not be infringed upon, because in order for them to ban it by Iowa state law, they have to have a screener to screen people for guns, and then they have to have armed security, not just for meetings, not just for one single person like it was for me last month, but for every time that it's open for the public or in any and all meetings, they need to have armed security. Now, I know that the sheriffs can do that, but the problem is that takes the sheriffs away from doing their job properly, they need to hire a professional company to come in to do that. I know this town don't have the money to do that, and they're not going to pay for that. So by law, they have to allow law-abiding citizens to carry, which I am a law-abiding. I legally purchased them. So we'll see how that goes. I want to explain to people that I respect people's rights to not want to own one. But I don't have the respect for people that wants to ban my rights or anybody else's just because they don't like guns. Personally, I think they're in the wrong country if they think that they can take away our guns. And, it's just the way it is. This is what our country is. These are our rights. They're non-negotiable. These are rights granted to us by our Creator, not by government. So our rights cannot be taken away. See if you can read that. Get it closer, see if it'll. A political subdivision of the state. This applies to the city. A political subdivision, guys, is a sheriff's office, city hall, basically local government. A political subdivision of the state shall not enact an ordinance, motion, resolution, policy, or amendment regulating the ownership, possession, legal transfer. This is where I'm saying that not this right here, but this law right here does pretty much violate the Second Amendment. Not this section of it, I don't believe. The possession, legal transfer, lawful transportation, modification, registration, or licensing of firearms, firearms attachments, or other weapons when the ownership, possession, transfer, transportation, when you see crossed out lines, it's been crossed out because it's been redone lately. Transportation or modification is otherwise lawful under the laws of the state. Now, I'm a legal gun owner, so that one is just basically telling you can't have it in the city, basically, I think, not in the building. If a political subdivision of the state prior to, on, or after July 1st of 2020, that's why I say it's new, adopts, makes, enacts, or amends any ordinance, measure, enactment, rule, resolution, motion, or policy regulating the ownership, possession, legal transfer, lawful transportation, modification, registration, or licensing of firearms attachments, which you guys will probably hear this again in the meeting if they don't violate my First Amendment, or other weapons when the ownership, possession, transfer, transportation, modification, registration, or licensing of firearms firearms attachments or other weapons is otherwise lawful under the laws of this state, and a person adversely affected by the ordinance, measure, enactment, rule, resolution, motion, or policy may file suit, which is what I'm going to do, in the appropriate court for declaratory, if I'm saying that right, and injunctive relief, and all damages attributable to the violation. A court shall also award the prevailing party in any such lawsuit reasonable attorney fees and court costs. So down here, this is where it violates the Second Amendment, which under the actual U.S. Constitution technically makes this null and void, but this will work in this case for now. A political subdivision, as I said, it's a city hall, in this case, of the state, may restrict the carrying, possession, or transportation of firearms or other dangerous weapons in the buildings, violating the Second Amendment. Of course, it is state law, but violating the Second Amendment, or physical structures located on property under the political subdivision's control, which is that building right there. Come on, let's see if there we go. If adequate arrangements are made by the political subdivision to screen persons for firearms or other dangerous weapons, and the political subdivision provides armed security personnel inside the building or physical structure where the restriction is to be in effect. So there you go. Each one of them's got a copy. So that's what I'm going to represent on that side of things. And then on the other stuff, it's the singling out, the picking, and the picking. That's basically what's going on. It's basically judgmental. So it is 6:42, and I think, well, I can't believe I was able to talk this much, but anyways, it's 6:42. There is the mayor. He showed up. So we'll see who else shows up. So hopefully, because I'm recording this, there will be some accountability, because this is going public, and I'm sure they wouldn't want to look bad in front of people. And I wished I would have been able to record it last meeting, because that was not even professional. Now there might be some raising of voices. There might be a little cuss words. I don't know. I hope not, but hope they'll listen to me and just quit doing what they're doing and hold themselves accountable. There's my buddy Tom showing up. Let's see if Sue Kupka shows up. So I'm basically gonna wait until everybody shows up there's Sue. She did show up. Okay, cool. So last meeting she wasn't there, and Gordon Fawcett wasn't there. See, who is this? Yeah. I could probably use them. I'm recording all the people showing up.
$5 now that you put me on film. How many do you want?
As many as you want.
You want them all?
Well, you don't
eat them?
I don't know if I can eat them all in time. Okay, there we go. There's Gary Pearson. He showed up. I think looks like everybody's going to be here. I think we got one more person to show up. Maybe. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Now we need two more people. Now, if you notice I'm not talking to any of them, it's not because I'm not going to. It's because they know I'm going to be holding them accountable, and nobody likes to be held accountable. So they're not speaking to me, and that's fine right now. But hopefully things will change. So basically, when I go into the meeting, you're gonna see the same repeat of what I just told you, but you'll get the only difference is you'll see what the reaction, if they're gonna do anything, if they're not gonna do anything. We will see. I hope they do. I hope they're accountable. We just can't have rogue